Hey, g'day guys. I'm road tripping today. I'm at the beautiful Kings Park looking over Perth. You can see it there. I was just out and about. I had to come to the city to do a few things, so I thought, oh well, I'll bring my stuff and I'll make a little video. It's the 15th today, so the middle of the month, so I thought I'd do a quick market update on how we're going this month, how I'm going and how the market's going. It's been a tough start to the month. I've had a bit of a shocker, to be honest. Down a bit so far this month. That's how it was last month too, and managed to turn it around late in the month, so we'll see what happens with this one. The market is down around about 2%. It was about 6,015 when Feb ended, and now it's about, well, last I looked it was 5,910, so down just under 2% for the month. So you know, if you're trading alongside, it makes it a bit harder when the market is going against you. Now, the three that I did talk about in last month, I've had a bit of mixed success with. Kogan was the first one, and I did enter a trade on them. They were $8.90 at the end of last month. They're now about $9.80 the last time I looked, so they're up a fair whack. Unfortunately, I haven't got much of that. I bought it at $8.56, but I've already sold at $9.23. The reason I did that, the reason I sold at an 8% gain, is after I bought, they went down a lot further. They went down to about 768, I think it was. So, you know, they tumbled another, I don't know, what's that, 10-15%, or 12% I think it was, from what I bought them at. So when a trade goes against me that bad, I do have to readjust everything, which I had to do with Kogan. And you know, I took my profit at 9.23 and was happy to do so at the time. Obviously they've gone up more, but I'm really keen on sticking to my trading rules. I had to readjust the exit, which I did, and I sold, made a profit. Could have been more, obviously, in hindsight, we know that now. But you know, when you're trading, you do have to lock your profits in sometimes, and what happens after that is too bad. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. There's still a stock I like in the long term, so I'll definitely be trading them again. It won't be long before they're over 10 bucks, you know, maybe more than that fairly soon. So keep an eye on Kogan, definitely tradable, very volatile. Varti, now they were 30 cents when I did the vid, and last I looked they were 23 cents, so they have come down a fair bit. I did buy these, I bought them at 25 cents, so I'm in the trade and I'm down. We'll see what happens with these. They may be getting caught up with the whole cryptocurrency thing. I mean, they're plummeting at the moment, the cryptocurrencies, and these being blockchain businesses, this and the kicker, which is another one I'm in, it's just getting punished. I'm not sure if it's because people relate the blockchain to the cryptocurrency. Of course, they're very different, what these companies are trying to do to cryptocurrencies, but maybe they're getting caught up, and I'm not sure, but you know, they seem very soft at the moment. Maybe a buying opportunity there, we'll just have to see on those ones, but I'm in at 25 cents on the Varti. And SHM Shiro, they're $1.42. They were $1.50 when I did the vid, so they're down as well. I bought at $1.48, so I'm down on them. Happy enough to hold these. They have come back from about $1.30, I think they went to, so they are up a little bit on that. Just hanging on these. They're not an exciting stock. We'll see how they go over the next, you know, probably month or two or three on these ones. So don't be too anxious. Just hang in there on these ones would be my advice. Okay, so that's how we're going halfway through the month. Of course, we'll finish the update at the end of the month and see how we went. Okay, if you have liked my Facebook page, you would have seen I put a post up yesterday about me and how I'm getting out of my business, my offline business, which is a mortgage broking business that I've been in for nearly 15 years. It's a big decision for me to give up that income and that job. It's something I've loved doing for a long time. Not so much the last couple of years though. The industry has changed a lot, and it's becoming what I call a very dumb industry. It's been dumbed down to the point that I'm starting to think that brokers aren't really necessary anymore. The regulation, I believe in regulation, keeping things fair, but it's got out of hand, I think, in this industry. It's really much a nanny sort of regulation now. The banks don't have freedom to control their own risk. They're basically told how much risk they can take on. So all the banks have homogenized into one big entity basically. They all do the same thing. So look, from my point of view, I feel like I don't have any impact in that industry anymore, so I'll be looking to get out. I haven't sold yet. I've just set my intentions out that I will be, and we'll see what happens. That could take a few months or longer to get myself out of the industry. I'm in no rush, but that is my goal for this year, is to exit. So the question then is, what will I be doing? And this has been a question that I've really struggled to answer for a long time now, and it's the reason why I haven't made this move earlier, because I just didn't know what I wanted to do besides broking, which has been so good to me. And I think this, probably on the weekend I was thinking about it, I just come up with an answer that made me feel right, and that is that I will no longer have a job. I'm not looking for a career or a job. I'm just looking to do projects. So from now on, it's all projects for me. And I've come up with a figure of 50 days, and I don't know if that's right or if it's long enough or too long, but from now on I'm going to look at everything I do as a 50-day project, and that's 5 days a week for 10 weeks. And then at the end of that 10 weeks I'm going to have 2 weeks off where I just get away from everything. And when I look at it like that, it sort of gives me a lot of freedom. I don't have to tie myself down to one particular thing anymore. And there's lots of things I want to do. So, and if I'm only doing them for 50 days, I feel like I have that freedom. If it works, great. Maybe I will do it again for another 50 days. Maybe it'll become a career. But if it doesn't work, that's okay. I'll move on to the next thing. So any ideas you guys have got for a 50-day project? I've got a few ideas. I thought of day trading, and I've spoken out against day trading in these vids in the past. I thought, well, that would be fun for 50 days, and I can record my progress on these videos, just for 50 days, have a crack at day trading, see if I can do it. You know, I just thought it'd be fun. So I might day trade for 50 days. I want to write a book. I've spoke about that before. So I thought if I focus for just 50 days solid, 5 days a week for 10 weeks, I reckon I can churn out a book. I've already got the makings of a book already. So it's another thing I've wanted to do for a long time. Haven't done it, but I think I'm ready to. So that's another thing I can do. I'd love to make a documentary. You know, these little videos I make here are great. I like hearing people's stories. So you're making a documentary, spend 50 days doing that, see what happens with that. That could be another thing I do. Be a YouTuber. I know I've got this little YouTube channel, and I love all you guys for tuning in. But I thought it might be fun to start a new one from scratch. Just 50 days, just do a video every day, and just become a YouTuber. Because I don't consider myself a YouTuber right now. Like, I make YouTube videos, but you know, it's not how I define myself. But I thought it would be fun, maybe for 50 days, to define myself as a YouTuber and just go hard at it and see what I can produce over those 50 days. Starting up an online business. My wife has already given me a few ideas of businesses that she's thought about, and you know, maybe I could just spend 50 days seeing if I can set up an online business that can sell some product. And I'm sure there's lots of other ideas. Maybe you got some ideas you can share with me for projects that I can work on over the coming months and years. And you know, I'll be happy to hear them. So it's more about taking my freedom, which I'm so passionate about, to a new level, and no longer working for a living, just having projects for a living, the project life basically. So we'll see how that goes, whether it works, you know, whether I go broke over the next few years trying to do this, I don't know, but it's something I want to do, so it's what I am going to do. Okay, so apart from that, I want to say I am going to be in Sydney on April 6th. And I have a little bit of time. Now, I don't know if anyone wants to catch up for a beer. I don't know where yet. I will come up with an establishment, but it will be in the CBD because that's where I'm staying. So any of you guys in Sydney that did just want to catch up for a few beers, only about an hour and a half probably, at 11 AM on the 6th of April, if you're going to be in the CBD, just pop by the bar that I will give you in the near future. And look, we talk about the stock market. I'm happy to talk to anyone about the stock market. And what it may also do is, if you know, a few people come, you can meet each other. If you're in Sydney and you're interested in the stock market, maybe you can make some new contacts and people you can talk to, because that's what this little community is about. It's about sharing stories and sharing ideas, So if you want to, I will be around. So if you're in Sydney, maybe just hit me up with a message either in the comments or on Facebook, and I'll keep in touch with you as it gets closer, and I'll find a location for it. If you have any ideas for a location too, let me know on that. And the last thing, you may have noticed that S&P have changed which stocks go in and which stocks go out of the All Ords, which happens in March every year. Every 3 months the other indices are readjusted, but the All Ords is one that I pay particular attention to because a lot of larger institutions and say superannuation funds can only invest in shares that are in the All Ords. So stocks that may be coming out of the All Ords could be interesting to have a look at over the next few days and follow, because as of tomorrow, Friday, they are out, and a lot of these investors can no longer invest with them. So just keep an eye on the companies, have a look at the stocks that are going out, and keep an eye on them. TGA is one, Thorn Group, which I've traded 3 times this year. Oh no, sorry, once last year in December and twice this year I've traded. Each time I've got a 10-12% gain on, so they're a good stock to trade, and they're back down, I think 73 cents last time I looked. So they look relatively cheap, and a lot of that downward pressure may be because of the fact that they are coming out of the All Ords. So have a look at that. Have a look at that today and tomorrow, and see if there's any ideas there, any stocks that may be looking cheap because of the downward pressure. Okay guys, that is it. We'll call it a day there. It's a bit weird when you're in public and there's all people around and you're talking to the camera, but I got through it, and yes, no worries. I'll see you very soon.